think you were lost if it wasn't for the Michelin sign posted over the large arched entrance of this grungy loft warehouse space. From the moment the host greets you, Alouette entertains as you're guided up to the top floor of this former pencil factory, now housing music studios and band practice spaces. The vibe here is 80s punk graffiti, industrial, replete with tagged freight elevators, squeaky steel doors that leads you into a modern, intimate, and sleek, sophisticated space with open kitchen, arching greenhouse-style windows, and beautiful views of a courtyard below. Chefs Nick Curtin, Camilla Hansen, and Andrew Valenzuela received their first Michelin star only 8 months after opening in 2019. They've rightfully retained it ever since. The focus here is regional and seasonal, with emphasis on small producers. We couldn't have been happier we chose this restaurant during our short trip to Copenhagen, and we really look forward to showing you around.
This is champagne from Jean-Pierre Secondé, good prestige, made from 80% Pinot Noir and 20% Chardonnay. So aged for 3 years on the lease. It's made in a dry style, but it does have some sweet notes along aging, which adds a nice contrast.
Perfect, thank you. We started the evening with 3 snacks. The first was birchwood with king oyster mushrooms, confit overnight and grilled over fire, glazed with tomato umami water. Then to follow, leek and yellow pea miso pancake, little creme fraiche and Siberian caviar. The last bite was sourdough cracker with hand-dyed Norwegian scallop. After they shuck them, they're brined and glazed with Japanese quince, and its skin is fermented for a month to add tang.
Very bright citrus on top. Very nice. Very nice.
The apple adds like a little freshness at the end. You wouldn't expect it. This bread is soft and fluffy and gluteny. It's delicious.
Aged partly in oak, 25%, and then 75% is in steel. So the oak just gives a little bit of body, but it doesn't disturb the very fruity flavor profile.
Yeah.
I think that bread is.
Yeah.
I love it.
Next best bread.
Wow.
Danish fjord shrimps. Brine them, but we're serving them too raw. They've been marinated with blackcurrant leaves, blackcurrant vinegar, and a little bit of blackcurrant wood oil as well. On top you'll find a few pieces of cured mirabelle plums. We've been pickling them for about 9 months. Picked before the pit was able to develop. So it's a very similar taste and texture to olives. For the sauce we use almonds. We blanch them and then roast them just to extract all the natural oils. And then we churn them for a few hours to create an almond butter. After that we emulsify with a little bit of cream and butter as well.
Some more white wine. This one's a little heavier. It's Chardonnay from Burgundy. Grapes are coming from 3 different vineyards.
This is monkfish. It's the tail of a monkfish. If you've ever seen one before, you know that it is a hideous creature. Probably one of the ugliest to have ever lived. But that's okay. Its beauty is on the inside. By that I mean it's absolutely delicious. So the tail matches really well with our sauce because it's firm texture. It's liver of the same fish, cured like a foie gras. A little bit of salt and sugar and washed off with white wine. And it cooks sitting in a cream until we finish it with a light hit of oil. Those drops of oil you see on your plate, it's Danish-grown lemongrass.
Oh man.
It's delicious.
So good.
So changing color, we're going to Spain, or actually Catalonia, the Terra Alta area, which is just south of Penedès. This is a very small producer, which is currently run by 2 brothers.
We have for you now is a dish called Chawanmushi. So it's a Japanese savory egg custard. So at the base, we made a broth from dashi, so Japanese seaweed. And then we set that with eggs from a farm here called Heinz. On top of that, we have a crispier layer made with puffed and fried Danish quinoa, fried chicken skin, and pickled ramps and capers. We then have a layer of a smoked white chicken stock. We're smoking that with hay from the farm. And then a layer of a sweet chicken glaze. The sauce, it's made from cheese which is wrapped and aged in hay for 2 years.
Whoa. It's like a savory broth. There's like the caramel is sweet, and then the dashi, and then you put the foam on top of it, and it's like more of a light foam. This is crazy. I've never tasted anything like this. You can taste like the aged cheese. That's crazy.
The main was local lamb butchered free from any mechanical processing. Grass-fed, and the saddle here is used for this dish. It's macerated in yellow pea paste for 7 hours before being cooked over open fire. It's accompanied by foraged ramson leaves, also over fire, and sits atop of a ramson pesto. Lamb with a little bit of garlic ram, fresh garlic ram, all over fire. Taste lamb and you taste ram, but it's not intense and heavy. It's like perfectly subtle, perfectly flavorful, perfectly delicious.
It's almost like buttery. The quality of the lamb's really special.
Yeah.
I love this dish.
It's a Riesling, so spätlese meaning it's a late harvest. So it's a bit sweet, but we're not in the very, very sweet category. It's extremely refreshing. Lots of orange, citrus, orange blossom, quince. It has the flavor which is described as petrol in wine language.
For dessert, we have something that we like to call our homage to the dairy farm Sutofta. Sutofta is run by a couple to start with, and what they do is that they have a holistic approach to their dairy farming.
So, in the middle, we have a bit of egg. All around it is all the dairy. The egg here is a take of a Sicilian dessert called punji. It's pretty much confit egg yolk with sugar. At the bottom, we have Sutofta's fresh cheese, we have their yogurt, and we have their cream that we just whip up. The crisp that you see on the side is made from the milk, and then the sauce that is poured is a caramel, and it's a caramel that we do from the whey. So the leftover product when they do a few cheeses. That whey, we just caramelize it with sugar. At the end, we add a bit of Malden and then some fresh whey just to get that acidity pop.
This is heaven.
For here, it's our cannelé. So it goes in copper molds with beeswax on the outside. Then we take bees pollen from the same farm and we turn it into oil. We then infuse it into the batter and we let it age for 4 days. Traditional Japanese ganache. We're using 70% Nicaraguan chocolate, which has been churned 3 times. So it's super, super smooth and fine. And it's sandwiched in between 2 pieces of sablé using 100% Nicaraguan cacao as well.
Crunchy and thick on the outside. The inside is soft and moist and subtle and sweet, very like on the edge of caramelization.
Yeah, probably.